Hi, everyone. My name is Lori McGowan. I use she, her pronouns, and I am based out of Atlanta, Georgia. That is the somewhat hot, somewhat swampy part of the US, in case you were curious. But before we get started, I wanted to share a little bit about me and what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm a research operations manager at MailChimp. I have been in the research ops field for over 4 years now. And in that time, I've used many, many tools, currently cresting 20 in my own personal tool stack. And I've recruited for hundreds of research projects at different levels across many departments and functions. And today, I'm excited to share with you how you can become more effective at recruitment by using the right tools. Fun facts about me before we get started. I love gardening. I love my giant 13-year-old lab Great Dane, and I love video games, if you couldn't tell. But especially Zelda, and I hope there's one or two fans out there. And if there are, I'm thrilled you'll get my many references. But I think effective recruitment is like building up a character in a video game. It starts with having the right tool stack. Link here, the hero in the Zelda series, starts with no shoes, no armor, no fancy weaponry, just a stick. And as you explore and navigate the game, you pick up new tools that make you stronger. So consider yourselves characters in The Legend of Recruitment. Warning, I'm not a designer here, but for demonstration's sake, I've made a diagram. Research ops, you are Link, your weapons are your recruitment tools, and recruitment is Calamity Ganon, who we need to defeat. So your tools are like weaponry. The more you have, the more you level up, the more powerful your character becomes, and the more effective you are at conquering recruitment. This here is Calamity Ganon. Also, maybe how recruitment can make us feel if we were to put it visually. At the end of the day, you don't want to face Calamity Ganon here, which can be larger recruitment, simultaneous recruitment, quick turn recruitment, etc., with just a stick. We know a sword is stronger than a stick, but how do we find the sword? In this game, the more tools that you have at your disposal, the closer you, Link, get to that master sword and being able to tackle recruitment in whatever form with ease. But let's back up and talk about why effective recruitment is significant. So let's fill in the blank on what recruitment is. First, it's important. It can make or break research since it provides the context and nuance that supports quant, and it helps us avoid assumptions. Next, it's a skill. It takes a bit of finesse to learn at each company and each new target audience, and there's usually a learning curve. Lastly, it's time consuming. Recruitment can easily be an entire job, and for some, it is. And recruitment has a number of moving parts. It's finding the right candidates, it's getting consent forms, it's interviewing, data analysis, compensation, and so much more. And that leaves a lot of room to get overwhelmed by tedious tasks. So it's on us research ops to make sure this doesn't happen. But how do we do that? How do we prevent ourselves from getting bogged down in the minutia? How do we avoid missteps? How do we prevent elongated timelines? Or how do we maybe help teams speed up their time to insight? The answer is tools. So you're Link, and you've got this big battle coming up. Let's say it's a hefty recruitment project. How do we battle recruitment with a sword, not a stick? So with a stick, we're pulling lists individually, emailing participants, manually scheduling interviews, reaching out for consent, then setting compensation. Our tool stack is minimal, nothing is automated, and we're struggling to get the right recruit. Overall, it's exhaustive and time intensive. With a sword, we're leveraging the right tools for the recruit, we're integrating those tools when and where possible, and we're considering in the long term how we can help teams self-serve. Most of us exist somewhere in between stick and sword, and it's hard to jump straight from stick to sword. And that's where it's important to get a hold of each level of tools first. Similar to Zelda, you learn to use your shield first. That's going to protect you, and that's level 1. Then you get your bow, and this is for more long distance enemies and battles. That's level 2. And finally, you learn to use a sword. This makes battles a breeze and preps you for the biggest battle at the end. That's level 3. So first, Link needs to protect himself before he can fight with a sword. So we need to get the basics down with our shield, level 1 tools. First, use scheduling tools to book your candidates. Gone are the days of back and forth scheduling. Take 5 emails down to 1, and there are lots of tools out there to help you do this. Next, use survey tools to do the screening for you. This is going to help you weed through a list of hundreds, if not thousands, of potential candidates. So stop the cold emailing, find candidates who are interested in you and are right for the project. You can also integrate these platforms into your screener tool, so once they qualify, they can automatically book. Next, choose incentive tools that allow you to pull reports and track participant spend over time. This is particularly helpful in tracking your team budget and predicting project spend over time, maybe seeing if certain audiences respond better to certain incentive levels. Now that you, Link, can protect yourself using your shield, you're ready for a bow or level 2 tools. I recommend using participant management tools and tossing the spreadsheets. This is going to give you access to reporting so you can easily track who was involved in what study, build on participant profiles over time, and even develop cohorts of research friendlies by marking your best participants. This will also be helpful in testing your response rates and tracking whether you see a boost from increased compensation or new messaging. And if it's possible, connect it to your customer database. So think APIs and third-party integration developers like Zapier, so you can update their data in real time. Next, lean on panel recruitment platforms. I tend to prefer these when recruitment criteria isn't hyper specific. It's less focused on customer or first party data, and it's more general demographic data. It can be worth the cost to have an experienced team in the background finding participants for you, and they can handle multiple recruits at once. So think of it like duplicating yourself. Now there are 3 of you. And it's even better when you can connect this to your scheduling tool, so when the right candidate comes along, it's easy for them to book. And this can really speed up and streamline your recruitment process. Finally, you're ready for your sword, aka level 3 tools. When you get here, you're ready for things like an online community. Think of this like a curated group of enthusiastic customers who have opted into helping with research. They are dedicated to providing feedback and improving the experience for customers like them. Online communities also allow you to focus on long-term participant engagement and relationship building. There are a number of tools out there, and they offer varying levels of support. Next, this isn't exactly a tool, but more of a program that can be paired with a tool and allows researchers and people who do research to help themselves recruit for their projects. That program can consist of a tool to house participants that they can recruit from. It's got materials to help them get up to speed on how to recruit, conduct interviews, or complete consent. You then manage the tool, put guardrails in place to ensure customers aren't overtapped, legal and compliance needs are met, and a smooth experience is set up for the researchers and for your customers. The sword level is last because it takes time to build up to. It has a pretty hefty front end and it tends to be on the more expensive side. But the wait and the work can be worth it because it helps free up your time to continue optimizing recruitment, not just doing it. So we covered a lot today. So if you walk away with anything from my short talk here, please look for tools that help you do these things. Automate scheduling and report on compensation. Screen participants to find warm leads who are the right fit through a survey platform. Track and manage participants over time. So ditch the spreadsheets, use a CRM. Outsource less specific, less high stakes recruitment to panel recruitment platforms, and invest in long-term community panels or self-serve programs. Remember, recruitment should never be a challenge. You have the tools and the secrets of the game in front of you. You have the tools at your disposal to play and win in the legend of recruitment. So now it's time to press play and begin. That's it for me. Again, my name is Lori McGowan, and you can reach me at the email here or find me on LinkedIn. Thank you all for listening and letting me speak today. Cheers.